Bruh, sometimes you gotta let somebody help you, especially when it comes to your woman or somebody that really close to you or that love you or whatever. I'ma share this video and then we're gonna talk about it.
Catch a man doing something right and praise him for it, he'll do it again.
And do it better.
And listen, man, my wife, listen, one day, man, I'm trying to bring in all the bags, right?
Yeah.
I got all the bags. She said, can you get, I got them. We good. So I'm bringing in, I got all the bags. We done been to Walmart, I got all of them, man. And I didn't drop the bag, but I had some of that ragu sauce in the jar.
Yeah.
And it tilted. I tried to catch, I'm like, oh, it's okay, but I didn't know it was the ragu sauce in it. Bam! It broke in the garage. Man, sauce got all over my shoe. I'm like, oh, man. She was like, I asked you if you need some help. I said, man, I'm good. Man. And man, I realized that I was carrying too much at the time, bro. And when you're carrying too much as a man, you don't know what's gonna drop. I could have dropped a banana. I could have dropped anything, but the one thing that was breakable is what I dropped. And sometimes as men, we're trying to carry so much. And sometimes the wife, she just want to help out a little bit. That's why he credit. I got it. I'm good. I'm good. Man, I don't know what brother listening. Brother might be listening right now. Bro, they gotta help too, man.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's okay to let them help, man, or make 2 trips.
Yeah.
But my wife looked at me, man, she said, I thought you had it. I thought I did.
I'm a lot like that, right? I don't ask for help. Most time I don't even want help. Not saying from my wife or from my woman or whatever, but just in general, because I've always been somewhat of a loner, but it has nothing really to do with being a loner. It just, I like to do things a certain way, and I don't want to try to put that on somebody else to do it the way I want them to do it, because if I ask you for help, then I should accept your help however you can give it. You feel what I'm saying? That's my opinion on that. So I don't ask for help, right? And like this man was saying, I'm the same way a lot of us are, you know what I'm saying? I ain't making no 3 and 4 trips unless I just have to. I'm making 1 trip. I got 10 bags in one hand, 10 bags in the other. And I tell my wife, go ahead in the house, I'm good, I got it. Anyway, that goes across the board for other stuff too. And that's what that really was all about, right? And even in that, they understand, or they allow you to be who you are. So picture, most of the time we move, well, every time I've moved, and I've moved a lot, in different times in my life. Picture we moved from New Orleans to Georgia. And I'm gonna be brief with this story. But I don't get help. I try to load the truck up as much as I can, and I do it piece by piece or whatever I can do. I like it loaded a certain way. That's just who I am, but that's all of my little idiosyncrasies. So, you know, there's this new thing that you could just go to, and that's what my wife was saying all the time. Babe, just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick up a couple of people and let them help you. Nah, I'm good. So we get the truck loaded, we come here, and now it's time for me to unload the truck. And I'm older now, obviously. I mean, this was 7, 8 years ago or whatever, but I'm still older at the time. When I was younger with my other family, I used to move everything then too. But I'll tell that story another time. So that's what she's saying. Babe, just go get some help, because I don't want you to hurt yourself. I don't want you to do this, and I want you to be all right. And I know it's coming from a good place, but I don't do help. That's my whole mentality. That's what I'm thinking about then, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the greatest attitude to have, but that was my attitude then, and more, and even now. But let's move forward. So now I move everything. I'm wore out. I'm dead tired, but I'm moving and I'm moving and I'm moving and everything happening. So now at this age, I need a few days. I need a few days to get myself back together. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like when we was younger and you just do whatever you do and pop back up and go do some more. You know what I'm saying? And not that that was the worst that could have happened, because I could have hurt myself. And when I'm talking about moving everything, I'm talking about refrigerators, couches, everything. That's just who I am. But I know he used that the same as I'm using this. It's about the physical stuff that we're using it for. But the man on the video was about not just the physical stuff. Sometimes we need to ask for help on some of the mental shit. That's the most important. You know what I'm saying? Because as a man, we don't want to bother nobody. As a man, we don't want to let nobody know we weak. As a man, we don't want to feel like they're going to feel like I'm weak if I need help mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's just who we are as men. But sometimes we need to get help. I've talked about it before. I haven't been in a while, but I was in therapy for a good while. And it taught me a lot and it helped me a lot, right? And I believe that the whole concept of the video was about that. About men not wanting to ask for help. About some men don't ask for help because they don't want nobody to think they weak. Or they don't want to ask for help because somebody gonna talk about them. Or they don't want to ask for help for whatever reason, right? And that's being weak in society's eye, or in your woman's eye, or in your children's eye, or whoever. That's one of the biggest things that men deal with or fight with. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up and was taught men ain't supposed to cry. Suck it up. Be a man. Get up. It's gonna be all right. Just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, because now we got all this shit that we ain't never dealt with, and it's still there. It don't go away. It's still there. So that's why when you get into other shit happens, because now it's not just that you're dealing with. Now it's all of this other stuff that you've been dealing with. And I'm a witness. I know for a fact. I know. I'm not smart. I don't read a lot. I just know from life experiences, right? But sometimes, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me. 'Cause again, this is my life. This is who I am. 100%. Sometimes we gotta stop and get some help. It ain't about the bags and how many you could carry in the house with no help. It ain't about how much weight you can lift. It ain't about how many cars you can fix. It ain't about how many females you could have at one time. It ain't about none of that, right? It's about mental help. Getting help for your mental. Because if your mental ain't decent, ain't shit gonna work good. Period. That's just the bottom line. And we all have mental stuff. Because that's where we keep it at. Suck it up. Be a man. Be strong. Be this. Be that. You don't need no help. You get up. Okay, you skint yourself up. It's gonna heal up. Just get up and keep moving. All right. This happened to you. Just keep moving. That happened to you. Keep moving. You a man. Suck it up. You a man. At some point, you're going to break. Pressure bust pipes. Let me just say that. Pressure bust pipes. Steel pipes. You feel what I'm saying? You can't keep going at that pace. You can't keep that up. You just can't. You want to. You've been taught to. And in some cases, you feel strong enough to. But eventually, If you don't deal with it, it's gonna deal with you. And that ain't gonna be a good look. You feel me? So whatever that means to you, you're gonna have to work that out. Like I said, I don't like help. I don't like nobody in my business. I don't like nobody physically helping me do nothing, because now I gotta depend on you, and you might stand me up, or now I gotta depend on you, and then you might slow me up because you really just there because you say you're gonna help me, but you ain't really doing shit, so you're in the way, and all of that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like no help because, like I said, I don't want nobody knowing my business. I ain't telling everybody. That was the whole side of therapy, and even that we've been taught. What happens in this house stays in this house. Don't be telling everybody what go on in here. Don't do this. Don't. It's what we've been taught. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it was bullshit. A lot of it is what's keeping us where we are mentally now. And if the head ain't right, the tail ain't gonna wag right. Period. If my head is all throwed off, ain't nothing gonna work right for me in my life. Some things might function. Some things that are what's the word? Some things that are like they just naturally how it's like things that we do every day. That's like a normal thing. I know there's a word for it, but I can't picture it right now. But that's what I mean. It's like the normal stuff that we do every day, just regular stuff that over and over again, that's going to happen. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the other side of life is where it's going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? When dealing with people, when it comes to dealing with your children, when it comes to dealing with your significant other, when it comes to dealing with situations. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's when shit gonna start going bad and not working the way you think they should or want them to. You know what I'm saying? And so we gotta do better with that. And again, I'm not preaching, because I'm talking to me 100% just as much as I'm talking to you, because I'm there. I'm that's who I am. I don't want no help. I don't need no help. I'm good. Even when my wife asks me, how you feel today? She ain't always asking me how you feel physically. I know she asking me how you feel mentally. How was your day? I already know that's where she going. But the first thing come out my mouth, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? You know it's the truth because you probably do the same thing. But some days I'm not good. Some days I'm not straight. I'm not all right. And that's okay not to be good or straight or all right. But we got to figure out some kind of way to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just saying I'm good, I'm straight, I'm all right. I don't want to talk about it. Because it's in there now. You know what I'm saying? And if you anything like me, that shit don't go nowhere. Because like I've said before, when I tell you I hold on to everything, I can remember shit. Bruh, just know, when I say I hold on to everything, it's hard for me to let go of anything. And I mean, even if I'm trying to, that's what I don't like it. I don't try to hold on to it. It's hard for me to let it go. It's just there. It's constantly there. So my mind never stops. Even when I'm sleeping, my wife will tell me, yeah, you was into it with somebody last night. Or you was fussing with somebody, or who you was fighting with last night, or who you was doing a lot of talking, meaning I'm talking in my sleep. And I guess that's where it comes out, because guess we got to have some kind of outlet some way or another. And I guess that's where it comes out. But saying all of that to say is we got to deal with it. We got to do better in that area. I have to deal with it. I have to do better in that area. Because it's a thing. It's a big thing. And it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So even though we feel like we can handle it and we in control and we got this and we sometimes we need help to deal with it. And even before I went to therapy, I always said that I would never do that. Because of what I said earlier. Ain't nobody going to be in my business. Ain't nobody going to tell me what to do and what I need to do. And I'm not telling nobody this and I'm not telling nobody that. And what I need to talk to another man about my problems for. And they can't fix me and they can't change me. It ain't even really about fixing you. Sometimes just having a conversation with somebody that's neutral is one of the best things in the world, because it's a conversation I can't have with my wife. I can't have with my mother. I can't have with my brother or sister. None of it. Or somebody that I'm just cool with. Because number one, they're going to either judge you. Number two, they're going to act like they got the answers for you. They're going to tell you what you should do and what you need to do and how to fix it, and all of that's bullshit, because they don't even know how to do their own shit. And once I started going to therapy, I did more talking than he did most of the time. And it didn't fix me, but it helped me because I was able to talk freely while he just listened. And before I even needed him to say anything, I done figured out what the deal is. I mean, most of the time we know where our issues are, right? Sometimes we just need somebody to not validate us as people, but validate the fact that this is the point where this comes from. This is an issue. This is this, that, or the third, if that makes sense, right? And then they are trained to be able to not give you or not fix you or give you answers or specific answers, but they are trained to listen to you and to hear where you're coming from and to pick out key phrases and points and triggers and all of that kind of stuff to help you to talk yourself through that and work. Because most of my shit, I talk myself through. And I realized me telling him what the problem was and where it came from and when it was. I mean, because like I said, most of the time we know. But there were some things that he did tell me that was like a light bulb coming on. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, even though I knew where a lot of stuff came from and all of that kind of stuff, sometimes they can tell you or help you to get to where you need to deal with that, so to speak, or to combat that, or to not that you can always fix it, but to live with it, or to not live with it, to put it behind you, or leave it where it's at, or to show you or to tell you that because that situation happened, that doesn't define you. That doesn't change who you are as a person now. Even then it didn't. But you have to move past it mentally, which is the hardest thing we have to do. And I don't want to go too deep into that because I really want to stay on us getting help. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that means for you. And like I say, for me, I never wanted help. I felt like I never needed help. But when I finally did get some mental health help from my therapist, it did me a world of good. You know what I'm saying? And even though we know, like I said, most of the stuff that we deal with, we already know why it triggers us. We already know where it came from. I have this thing about me that when I'm arguing with somebody, which I don't like to do, most people would think I like to argue, but I don't. I like to make my point. But you could call that whatever you want. But I have this thing that I'm going to say what I got to say, and ain't nobody going to stop me. I know exactly where that come from. When I was younger, my dad was the type of dad that he allowed you to be free. He allowed you to speak your mind and all of that. But when he said that's it, that was it. You couldn't stomp off. You couldn't mumble. You couldn't talk in your mind. If he heard you, it was some kind of way. If he could hear your mind just saying some shit without you even mumbling and over. When he said that was it, that was it. And that's where that comes from. Because I'm going to be heard, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you want to hear it or not. Ain't nobody going to stop me. And that's a big thing for me. That's a huge thing for me. And I know exactly where it come from. But I also know it's a trigger because in a lot of cases I felt like I couldn't be heard because somebody would be bothering me and I got fussed at or whatever because I was being mean, because I was the loud one. And even all of that came from a child crying out for help. Get these people away from me. And these was my brothers and sisters. I loved them more than anybody in the world. But when I was tired of them or when they was bothering me, they would do it in secret. They would be, you know how I go. They just constantly messing with you. You telling them to quit, stop, because you don't want to slap them because then you're going to really get in trouble. Or you don't want to hit them because you was always told you got heavy hands and you don't be hitting on them. You feel what I'm saying? So now you just start making all this noise. And that's a defense mechanism. So an adult can come along and say, leave that child alone, leave that boy alone, y'all leave it. But instead of doing that, they fussing at me because I'm loud and I'm being mean and I'm fussing and you see what I'm saying? Saying all of that to say is I know where all of my triggers come from. I know where every last one of them come from. But I didn't know how to handle them. That's what therapy helps me to do, is handle when I get triggered and handle how to separate what happened to me from who I am and how to handle or how to separate young Adam from older Adam. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. So I'm saying all of that to say is I'm not telling you something I heard. I'm telling you what I know because I've lived it and I live it today. But we got to do better and we got to learn how to get help, whatever that means for you. I'm not talking about just physical. I'm talking about mental. So that's all I got on that. I got a lot more, but I ain't going to be too long. So y'all be easy, and I'll see y'all in the next one. One love.